crystal to the every Monday, and then you'll know. J to the crystal to the guess every way. Talk about everything. J to the crystal to the J to the crystal to the J to the crystal to the. Tune in to the best room talk show. J to the crystal to the every Monday, and then you'll know. J to the crystal to the guess every way. Talk about everything. The bedroom talk show, crystal every Monday, and then you'll know.
What's up, your girls and everybody? It's your girl, Crystal J. I'm here talking about another topic that we need to talk about. And I have my good friend, you guys, Kellinda Nicole. I'm going to add her to the screen. And if you're watching from YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or Amazon, welcome to the Bedroom Talk Show. I'm sorry, my camera is in the way. I am also live on TikTok. But let's talk about this topic. Kellinda, what made you want to have this discussion today?
Well, one of the reasons was because it is one of the things that plague, I say, a lot of, well, people, period, but a lot of women that I have worked with, women that I know just from life, friends, family, they all have or have struggled with self-worth issues or self-image issues. And I myself have done the exact same. And it was something that I wanted people to be able to get past, because a lot of times when you're going through this, you feel like you're stuck, and you're actually not once you get to the root of the problem, once you get to the root of the issue, like, why do I have these self-worth issues? Where did they come from? Where did they begin, and what can I do to remove them? I myself have overcome a lot of self-esteem issues, self-worth issues. I would self-sabotage myself because of my self-worth issues. And that's the other part. You're not just disliking yourself, you are denying yourself of things, removing yourself from situations, places, jobs. I don't think I've ever told anybody this, but I remember I had issues with myself and my worth. And so I wouldn't apply for jobs that was more, this was like a long time ago. I wouldn't apply for jobs that was more than like 28,000 because I didn't feel that I was worth more than that. So that's one of the other reasons why I want people to really work on this and really push themselves, because I struggled for no reason. I didn't even have to struggle, but I did because of my self-worth, because I applied for things that was less than, so I didn't put myself in positions to make more money because I didn't feel like I could, even though my self-worth issues were a lie. I've always been great.
You know what's funny?
Mm-hmm.
I'm where you were. I realize my worth now. So
Mm-hmm.
I cannot apply for anything that's not paying me at least a minimum 50K a year.
Right.
Nothing less.
Right.
And when I tell people that, they get intimidated, like, what? Did she just, yes, I just said that you're not
Mm-hmm.
about to pay me minimum wage.
Right.
First off, I have a special needs kid and I need the extra income. So I'm
Absolutely.
not going to play with you. I'm not about to even act like this $30,000 job is worth it. It's not worth it. I'm sorry. Because when you get a job that's paying you $40,000, 20,000, let's talk about it. They treat you like you mean absolutely nothing. But it also go back to knowing your self-worth. If you knew your
Mm-hmm.
self-worth, you would never have took that job. But it takes us a minute to get to that level and understand who we are and who God gave all of us gifts. I'm not sure if everybody's spiritual in here. All of
Mm-hmm.
us gifts, and it's up to us to use those gifts and be the best person that we can be in a job, as a parent, and all of
Absolutely.
that. And when I think about self-worth, I think about relationships too. I'm not talking about just boyfriend, girlfriend, girlfriend,
Right.
girlfriend, boyfriend, boyfriend. I'm talking about friendships. I am talking about family members. I'm talking about co-workers, because everything in life is a relationship. You have a relationship with your child.
Right.
Um, I'm just now fully learning my self-worth. I just started dating myself 2 months ago, um, because I always felt like I needed a man. to go out with me, to date me. No, ma'am, I don't need that. And knowing my self worth, I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. I have my moments where it's like it's hard to overcome it because I'm trying to battle society. I'm 32. I'm single. I'm not married, and I'm trying to battle those demons. And I'm trying to battle Crystal. You're worthy. You're worthy of getting married past 30. You're not damaged. You ever heard the saying you're damaged if you're not married by I be telling myself I'm not damaged. I
Right.
am worthy.
Right.
And it's taking me some time because now I gotta find a therapist. But when I think about overcoming your self-worth, I mean, and learning who you are,
Mhm.
sometimes we have to get into therapy.
Absolutely. You have to get into therapy. If you feel that is where you need to go, which I do believe a lot of people do need to um, invest in therapy. But if you don't, you can do the work yourself, or at least start to do the work yourself. And I want to touch on when you was talking about relationships. We definitely have to have relationships with ourselves first, and that's going to be the first thing that's going to help you with your self-worth. You have to know who you are. You have to know how you are and why you are. Those are the key things that are going to take you beyond the low level of lightness that you have for yourself, because if you don't know why you do the things that you do, if you don't know the root of all of that, then all of the other work of self-worth that you're trying to do is not going to work, because you haven't uprooted the actual root, the actual problem. And a lot of times with that, you have to go back through your lineage. A lot of people don't really look at that. They'll look at like, oh, well, my mother treated me this way, my dad treated me that way, my grandmother. But sometimes you have to go back further, because some of our self-worth issues are rooted in something that was actually supposed to be positive. Like, for example, you'll have like well, we can just take it back. I'm going to take it back here really quick to slavery, right? You have a mother, and she knows her kids are going to be taken from her, right? So what she does is she blocks out her love, because she doesn't want to be hurt, and she want to teach her kids how to be strong too. So she teaches them how to block out their love, or become what we call now emotionally unavailable. So that pattern is like, it goes through family, through family, through family. It never like shifted. So by the time it comes to you, your mother, who is only doing what her mother did, not intentionally, not loving you on purpose, but because she wasn't taught how, because she doesn't know how. So now you're looking at yourself like, oh my God, there's something wrong with me. Now your self-worth is blown, but it came from something that was actually a survival mode. So when you're dealing with yourself, when you're dealing with relationships, a lot of times we base our relationships off of our family dynamic, right? And we go out looking for certain things. We are taught to look for certain things, especially women. We're taught at a young age to be married by this age and all of this and all of that. But at the end of the day, that's not what life is all about. And I'm not knocking anybody who wants to be married or anybody who is married. What I'm saying is you have to balance it. Yes, want that, but also want something for yourself. Because if you get into a marriage and your self-worth is not right, that marriage is not going to be the healthiest, because you are going to cling to that person, whether you marry male or female. You're going to cling to that person. You're going to, and a lot of people don't realize they do this, you're going to try to manipulate that person by doing certain things for them to keep them, but you're looking at it like, oh, I'm just loving on them, I'm giving them everything they want. But at the end of the day, you really want them to heal the wound that's deep inside of you, which has everything to do with your self-worth. So it's deeper than just surface. It's deeper than just, oh, I need to love what I look like. You need to know who you are. You need to know why you are the way that you are. And then that way you'll know exactly what you want. Because what happens is, let's say you do get into a marriage, right? And your self-worth isn't where it's supposed to be. When you do come into your real self-worth, you may even look at your husband or your wife and be like, damn, I don't even like them. They're not even where I need to be. And that's why I tell people, sometime on your healing journey, it will break up relationships. It can break up marriages, because you're realizing I mean, not saying the person
Girl,
was bad
talk
or
on it. Like you guys, me and Kellinda, we go way back, y'all.
girl.
When I said we go way back, y'all, we
Yeah.
go way back. And not knowing your self worth will damage your relationship because you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
be with somebody like she said, and you look at them and you disgusted with
Yeah.
what you allow your standards to drop
Yeah.
to say I'm in a relationship, or I just want, like some people just are in relationships just being in relationships. That's because they truly don't know their self-worth. Truly don't know their selves.
Yeah.
Like when I meet people and I go out by myself, people like you want to you I be at the bar just sitting there vibing, drinking, eating. They're
Mm-hmm.
like, "You by yourself?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yep.
And then it be women, and they be like,
Mm-hmm.
"But how could you do it?"
Right.
Like, "I could never." I said, "Because you don't love yourself." And they look at me and they be like, "What you mean?" I said, "If you can't go out by yourself, eat by yourself,
Yep.
and just have a good time by yourself, it's
Mm-hmm.
a deeper problem that you need to address." And I'm
Absolutely.
not an expert. All I can tell you is I start
Mm-hmm.
doing it to love myself more because
Mm-hmm.
I keep attracting broken men.
Yeah.
And it have to be something in me broken for
Mm-hmm.
me to attract that broken man. I keep
Mm-hmm.
attracting men that they're not worth my time.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to go back to the drawing board and I need to fully understand my self worth. I see we have some
Yeah.
comments, so let's get to them. Um, Sorry. Say definitely a society standard getting married after 30. If you're not, people think that you're damaged or it's a very weird society standard. I actually agree with this because number one, women, we like first off, we grew up watching Cinderella. We grew
Girl.
up watching these fairy tales. So we
Yes.
was already conditioned to think that we're gonna have a Prince Charming or
Mm-hmm.
somebody to come as our savior to come and save us. So that's one way. And you look at the toys, the girls have the kitchens and the
Yeah.
brooms. So they're training us as a kid to
Yeah.
be a house mom, a housewife, and the man be the
Mm-hmm.
provider. Now, I do believe a man supposed to be a provider, so don't get that twisted.
Right.
But it's conditioning us, and we're
Mm-hmm.
already thinking, "Oh my God, Prince! By the time we're 25, I'm gonna be married. I'm gonna have a husband, and by 30, I'm gonna have kids." That is an unrealistic
Yeah.
expectation, and when you place that expectation on yourself, you are damaging your self worth, and then sometimes you end up getting depressed because you end up thinking like, "What is wrong with me? Why am I
Mm-hmm.
single past 30?
Mm-hmm.
What did I do wrong? What did I attract?"
Absolutely.
I went through this, y'all. What did I attract? Like, what did I see in this person? Because he really ain't what he need to be. Like,
Absolutely.
these are conversations that I feel that the bedroom talk show should have. And the other one, did you want to add on to that one, Kalina, that comment about the society one?
Well, yeah, society, because times have changed, society still
Hmm.
wants to have that old narrative, the one from way back in the day when, a woman was supposed to be a wife and all of that kind of stuff. But a lot of those women didn't have a personality. They
No.
didn't have a voice. And times have changed and we have a voice. And a lot of us want to live that out. And we can't live that out at the age of 25 because we don't know who we are. We're still trying to figure things out. We're trying to break generational, patterns, behaviors, and beliefs that the, our priors put on us intentionally or unintentionally. So with society, I don't agree with all of these constructs. I think a lot of them keep you limited. A lot of them keep you voiceless. A lot of them keep you unhealed. Because if you can't do what you're supposed to do because you're going to be labeled as this or that, how can you truly be whole if you can't really be yourself?
But healing is a process. And when we
Oh,
talk about healing,
all
oh
day,
my God.
all day.
Like, I'm gonna tell you a little story. I was talking to somebody. This person thought he was healed. He told me I triggered him. I said, "Baby, you not healed."
Yeah.
Shortly after, I broke up with this person. We're still good friends. I know he watched the show, so I'm not gonna say his name.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, he told me I thought I was healed. I said,
Mm-hmm.
"No,
Yeah.
you when you go into a relationship comparing your past relationship to your new relationship, baby, you're not healed. It's time to go back to that board and figure it out. And it's time to love
Mm-hmm.
yourself more. Sometimes people be such in a rush to be under somebody, they're not learning who they are. Like, so, and have you ever realized when you're in a relationship, I, for me personally, I end up becoming that relationship. It was certain things I never did that I started doing when I was with that person, and I had to unlearn all of that because that's not who I am. So, do
Right.
anybody else ever experience that?
Yeah, I agree with you, Crystal. A lot of times because we have self identity issues, and we don't know who we are, so we become a chameleon, and we become whatever that relationship is or whoever that person is. Now, sometimes the change is good. Sometimes people can bring things out of you that you didn't even know were in you that are good things. But when you become a mirror sometimes to that person or their twin, then that's a
That's
dangerous
when
place.
it's become dangerous.
Yeah,
Like,
that
don't
becomes
never lose yourself to be with somebody.
absolutely,
Let me say it again for the young women that's watching. Don't never lose yourself to be with somebody.
absolutely,
Never. Always put yourself first. But when they leave, you still gonna be who you.
absolutely,
They break up with you today, you still gonna be who you are. You break up
absolutely.
like I'll not forget the time. I'm so open on my platform, y'all. And TikTok, welcome to the platform. Amazon, welcome to the platform. I remember when me and my son's father broke up. Now, I'm gonna ruffle some feathers. You guys, I remember when we broke up. I literally begged him to stay with me, y'all. Yes, but let me tell you what I learned from me doing that. It was years ago. I learned something. I didn't know my self worth because now the crystal I am, you break up with me, bye, see you, deuces. See you later. I don't care. But I did not know who I was. I didn't know how powerful I was. I didn't realize how smart I am. I know I'm business savvy and creative, but in that relationship, I lost my identity.
Mm,
But that's because I didn't truly understand Crystal's self worth. So, how
absolutely.
do we overcome self worth? You have to acknowledge that you need to work on your self worth. That's how you acknowledge it. I don't know if y'all remember. That's when I started dancing. Like, that's when I started to get into the burlesque because I was trying to find
Mm,
my confidence again. I was
mm,
trying to find out who the hell is Crystal because I just bet this man, this
mhm.
boy, to stay with me, and something like I need to figure it out. I remember I used to cry. I used to be so depressed. What I'm doing without him. Look at me today.
Absolutely.
That's a testimony for somebody.
Absolutely. I want to say, I think a lot of women, whether they admit it or not, have been where you are. I've definitely been there. And I'm not ashamed to sit up here and say, yeah, I did beg. And girl, I did house drive-bys, all kind of crazy stuff, because I didn't know who I was, and I felt like I needed to be attached to somebody else. And that was going to give me an identity. That was going to give me worth, that was going to give me everything that I was seeking, the love, the validation, the
Fat.
confidence, the courage, all of that. But what you're really doing, you're really draining and sucking the life out of that person, but that's a whole other
No, you
topic.
sucking the life out of yourself too by doing that.
Absolutely.
Because number one, to to beg another
Yeah,
human being
to stay with you.
to stay
Absolutely.
with you, let's talk about it. You
Yeah.
clearly don't know your self worth. I would say I did not know my self worth when I did that.
Mm-hmm.
I will proudly stand here today and tell you, when I begged him to stay with me, I didn't know my self worth. I'm so
Mm-hmm.
much like y'all. Like it took me a minute to
Yeah.
get over that situation, and that's why I made the post the other day. I'm single by choice
Mm-hmm.
because I know my worth. I'm not going to
Mm-hmm.
settle to be with nobody's son if they're not healed. And healing is a process. I know healing doesn't happen overnight, but you have to take time to heal yourself.
Right. Well, there's one thing I want to say with that. So, because healing is a process, and
Mhm.
sometimes it can be an ongoing thing. You may not be with a man who's all the way healed, because I don't think any of us will be all the way healed, but you want him
Preach.
to at least acknowledge it and know that he have things to work on and actively working on, whatever it is that needs to be worked on. Because I don't think we ever gonna meet anybody that's, gonna be completely totally just
Heal.
all the
I
way.
agree with that, but at least you working on it. You're active.
Right,
You
right,
are you in
right,
therapy. At least you've been to
right,
therapy. Are you
right.
seeking therapy? Because I
Hmm.
feel that a lot of black men need therapy.
A lot
It's
of black men, a
and
lot of black
women, but
women.
I'm just a lot of black men need therapy.
Yeah,
They go through so much that we probably don't
absolutely.
know about. Women, but of course,
Absolutely.
black women we need therapy. I mean, we got
Mhm.
blackgirlstherapy.com, I think, but
Yeah,
we don't talk about men getting therapy. Men need therapy, and it's okay
absolutely.
to say that.
And you know what? I wanna go. We still have to go back to the root of things, of being taught how to be emotionally unavailable. And if you tell your little son, your little boy that you love oh so much, oh don't cry, how do you think he's gonna translate that as an adult to the woman that he's with?
Girl, preach on that. Let me tell you.
I'm just saying.
I think it's healthy for a man to cry. Let me say it
Absolutely.
again. I think it is healthy and attractive for a man to cry. I would not, I have been in a relationship with somebody
Hmm.
who had a breakdown because they had to cry in front of me, and I said it's okay, and
Yeah.
it was terrible.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, we condition our men to say men don't cry, toughen
Right.
up. No,
Right.
cry. You are a human being. If you feel some type of way, my baby, cry. My son cry all the time. And I'd be like, you
Hmm.
okay? I rub his back, you okay? And of course
Hmm.
he's non-vocal, non-verbal for people who know what I'm talking about. And
Right.
I just rub his back like it's okay, you can cry. Because I don't want him to grow up and get into a relationship and he don't know how to be emotional in that relationship. Some people are emotionally unavailable in a relationship. You in a
Yes.
full-blown relationship and you can't even tell your person you love, I love you. You in a full blown
Right.
relationship. You don't even hug your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife,
Right.
whatever. You're in a
Right.
full blown relationship and you don't even understand how to be intimate without being
Right.
intimate. That's
Without
a
being.
problem. But that stems from childhood.
Absolutely.
So
And it does stem from childhood, but a lot of
mhm.
times our parents didn't even know that it was an issue. Their parents didn't know it was an
Nope.
issue. So when it comes to you and you become aware of it, then you try to bring it to their attention. But the thing is, some people are so
Stuck in
caught
their
up in
ways.
who they are, it's going to be hard to break that mold. You know, that mold is not going to be easily broken. And not saying that we have to, you know, give men a pass on this, but as women, if you know that most men are taught to be, you know, to not cry, not show emotions, how do you expect them to just open up because it's you? You know what I'm saying? Like, and like I said, I'm not giving men a pass. I just want women to understand something so that when you do come towards this man, you'll know how to approach in a different way and not like, you need to tell me you love me. You need to, and I know you want it, but this man is a brick wall. You're talking to a brick wall.
And he don't even understand
He doesn't
that he was
understand it.
conditioned that way. And it's up to
Absolutely.
us in therapy
Yes.
and changing that person, changing our mindsets to understand
Yes.
that. We got
Yeah.
some more topics. I mean, more comments, not topics. Thank
Okay.
you, Crystal, for inspiring us once again with another amazing bedroom talk show. Love all the topics you bring and the amazing guest speakers. Yes, you guys, when I pick my guest speakers, I let God pick them actually. I
Mm.
literally go, I have like over 50 people I have to interview. And I literally look at what they do and I said,
Mhm.
you know, that's a topic we need today, and we're gonna talk about it.
Mhm.
So thank you for that
Mhm.
comment. And Kellinda is great. Somebody said thank you, Kellinda.
Oh.
And it says the healing process is traumatizing sometimes because we don't recognize a lot of things. Healing in itself is a
Mhm.
journey.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna
Mhm.
lie.
Yeah.
Um, that's a journey. Great point, Crystal. The Cinderella standard, man. When and my favorite movie is Cinderella, but
Mm.
I know for a fact that is what little girls are raised to believe that we got a Prince
Absolutely.
Charming coming. We have somebody gonna save us. We gonna kiss. We gonna meet a man and he's gonna be everything, and
Mhm.
we gonna get married. Like, girl,
Mhm.
if I had a daughter, or if I have a daughter in the future, I'm gonna teach them real early and young. Be independent. No
Yeah.
man is gonna save you. Don't
Absolutely. Well, it's not his
that fairy
job.
tale ending. And I
Yeah.
love Hallmark. I know you're gonna say it. I
Yeah.
love Hallmark, but
Yeah.
I just I love a good love movie, but do
Mhm.
I believe it's gonna happen? No,
Yeah.
no.
And that's the sad part. And but that's also the issue or the point that we have to teach our kids that these are shows. They have to understand reality versus a show. Now, I'm not saying that nobody can have a fairy tale type of relationship, but reality wise, you're going to have issues. I'm sorry. Like you said earlier, you're dealing with a human being who has emotions, probably don't know how to handle those emotions. And
Mhm.
just the other thing, none of us know how we're really truly going to react or respond in certain situations. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? Because I've always heard and I read up on it that sometimes when a couple loses a child, that relationship usually ends in divorce because of the how each one chooses or processes and grieves. So that's what I'm saying. We don't know. We can only kind of flow with it and go with it. And I just want to make this point. I don't know why I need to make this point, but when I'm led, I just, say what I'm supposed to say. But when you're in a relationship with somebody and something happens, it could be an indiscretion or something like that. Be cautious or careful of if you choose to leave that person, because just because a person cheats doesn't necessarily mean the relationship is done. Now, I don't know who that's going to be for later on, but I'm not saying condone it, but don't just kill the whole relationship. Why that was said, I don't know, because
I'm wondering too because girl, I'm 100% against if you cheating on me.
no, I mean, some people yes, some people no. It's for who it's for. So it's gonna resonate with somebody.
It
For
might
me,
because some people, the guy probably cheated because the girlfriend decided she didn't. The wife probably decided I didn't want to have sex no more. I know a couple like that. They've
yeah,
been
oh
married for years,
yeah,
and the wife won't give him none, and it's just like,
okay,
why are y'all married? And
yeah.
he want to come on the show, but I got to figure out a way to block out his face and change his voice, and that's the hard part.
You
So
figure it out.
I'm pretty sure that's for somebody
Yeah.
because I'm
It's,
pretty sure
I
that's
mean, like I said, it's not for everybody. And that's the other thing
mm-mm.
about life too. Everything is not for everybody. You get what resonates with you and you move on. But so I don't know, like I said, I don't know where that came from, why it came from, but when spirit speaks to me, I have to deliver whatever needs to be delivered. But we can get back to self-worth and self and self-image issues.
Oh, self-image. We didn't touch on self-image. I
No,
think the reason people have a lot of problem with self-image is social media. Hands down,
of
social
course.
media. You get on
Of course.
social media, you trying to lose weight, you trying to better yourself and better your health. And here
Mhm.
go this girl posting her weight loss journey. It
Absolutely.
supposed to inspire you, but
Mhm.
instead you jealous.
Mhm.
Instead, you like I can lose more weight, and
Mhm.
then it consumes you. Or somebody posts them looking good, just looking good, looking fly, and you like,
Mhm.
"Mm, I can't afford that. Oh, or you judge them and say, oh, that's too hoochie. I
Right.
would never.
Right.
Instead of them just living their best life,
Life. Yep.
like that's self image, and how you look at other people is how you look at yourself. If you look at somebody
Yep.
else and you see hate, you
Mhm.
hate yourself.
You hate yourself. So that goes back to what?
Self
Self-worth.
worth.
It goes back to you. So it all ties in together. I know for myself, when I start, and I just posted this on my Facebook page, I think last week, that when I feel myself comparing myself to somebody on social media, it's time for me to get off, because I should be able to scroll without being triggered. But when I feel like I'm being triggered, or I'm feeling like, oh, okay, I need to look like this instead of looking like me, because I'm still dealing with my own
Girl,
issues.
talk on
you
it.
know I mean, it's not over. You know what I'm saying? This is something that I'm still dealing with. It's not where it was before. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes we get pulled in, and when you feel yourself getting pulled in on social media, you have to get off immediately. I don't feel like that's something you should still be trying to see. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna see if I'm strong and blah 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 blah. No, just get off. You know what I'm saying?
Girl,
And look
that
at
that right
yourself.
there's a word. That's a
Yeah,
word
just
for somebody.
yeah,
That's
just
a that's
just
a
get
word for
off.
somebody.
And that's all
Girl.
they have to do. Just get off, spend time with yourself. You know what I'm saying? And plus, you know how they tell you, oh, your kids, they should have a certain amount of time that they should be on social media. Same for adults, because you're feeding your mind. You know what I'm saying? You're feeding your subconscious. And a lot of people don't think about their subconscious mind. Everything that you see goes into your subconscious mind. Not your conscious mind, because you're not paying attention to everything like that, but your subconscious mind is catching everything. And
And
that's why so many
sometimes you don't
people are
even
triggered.
realize it.
Absolutely.
Like you
You
don't
don't even
realize it.
realize it.
Like
Hmm.
I try my hardest to stay off TikTok all the time because I used to just
Hmm.
be scrolling on TikTok for six
Yeah.
hours at a time. Like
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like I still battle with my self-image.
Yeah.
Um, not self-worth as much. But
Yeah.
you said something that resonated with me. So how can you look at your self-image positive and you said spend time with yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this is the kicker. A lot of people, I have met so many women who
Mm-hmm.
have and men who have a problem with going out by themselves, out to eat, to the movies, the park. They have a problem with it. They
Yeah.
always got to have somebody with them. I think that's an issue within itself.
It
If you
is.
always got to have somebody with you, you always need
Mm-hmm.
a crowd. I'm gonna need you to go
Mm-hmm.
back and look at yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what would you tell that person that they're watching this or they're listening to it and they always need somebody to
Mm-hmm.
go out?
Well, first of all, I would ask them, why do they feel they have to have somebody? And then depending on what that answer is, we would go from there, because a lot of times when you have that codependency on other people, that goes at well, everything goes back to your childhood. So we would have,
Mhm.
it wouldn't be just a surface discussion. We would get to the root of why you feel you need to cling to somebody else, or why you are afraid to be by yourself, because some people are afraid to go places by themselves because they think, oh, they by themselves, they single, something must be wrong with them. I have no issue going places by myself. I
Girl,
always have. I travel by myself. I'm cool with that. I absolutely love it.
girl, you try by yourself. Girl, when I
Yeah.
went to Puerto Rico by myself for 3 days, people said, Crystal, you're weird for that.
No, you're
I'm
not.
gonna be honest. My best friends came the last 3 days. I was there for
Mm-hmm.
almost 6 or 7. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for a minute. Y'all,
Mm-hmm.
I had the best time by myself versus
Mm-hmm.
with my friends. I had a good time with my friends,
Right.
but
Right.
y'all, that by myself,
Yes.
I was lit tea, dancing on
Yes.
bars. The only thing that I ain't gonna tell y'all that part, but I had a good time. There's only one
Yeah.
mishap that happened by myself, but
Mm-hmm.
I be ready. I travel
Right.
with tasers. I travel with things that I need,
That you need. Mm-hmm.
and it was the best experience. And I highly
Mm-hmm.
recommend that every women or
Yep.
man go
Yep.
on at least one solo trip by yourself, just one,
Just one.
just one.
Absolutely. But like I said, it's all in the conditioning. If you grew up where there's like a dependency to have people around a lot, it's gonna be hard to kind of break off. And then, like I said, some people are embarrassed to be by themselves. And that's where you go, you gotta ask that question. Why do you feel embarrassed? What is
They
it?
always find excuses too. It's always an
Yeah.
excuse. Well, somebody gonna
Yeah.
rob me. Somebody
Yeah.
go. That's why you don't get too drunk by yourself. You you
Hmm.
you pay attention to your surroundings. You have to use
Right.
your street
Now this
smarts.
and
Street smarts.
this is a thing to that when people come with like those type of excuses of fears, is that something they truly believe, or is that something that they were taught? Because remember, a lot of our mindset and our what we believe, our patterns come from our family, come from our surroundings. That's why I always ask people, do you really like what you like, or is it because your mother liked it? Is it because your family liked it? But is that really truly you? So that even goes with, and that's another thing. Some people don't be by themselves because, well, ain't nobody in my family did it. So they're
But
conditioned.
that's another layer of healing
Yeah,
that they have to
absolutely.
figure out. When you
Absolutely.
get to healing, there is so many layers of healing. Your
Absolutely.
childhood trauma, you got to nurture that childhood trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to nurture if you've been through a bad breakup. You have to heal from that.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to heal from if you depressed from that breakup. Then you got to
Yep.
heal from, oh my God, I have my kids are. I feel like my kids are not getting what they need.
Right.
Healing is a journey, y'all. I want y'all to
Yes.
understand that. We have
Yes.
a comment. We're all trying to find out who we are
Mm-hmm.
as women outside of being a mom and a provider.
Yep.
You know what I say all the time? I am
Mm-hmm.
Crystal before I am Zach mom. I am Zach
Absolutely.
mom second. I'm gonna tell you
Absolutely.
why I'm Zach mom second. Before I was Zach mom, I was Crystal. So now that you know me as Crystal, when I meet his teachers, I'll be like, "Hi, I'm Crystal. Nice to
Yeah.
meet you." Then I say, "I am Zach mom." I don't
A-
start no sentence saying I'm Zach mom.
Absolutely.
No, I stopped doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I started doing that a couple months ago.
Absolutely.
I finally realized I am more than a damn mom. I
Absolutely.
am
And you
Crystal.
always have been. And that's, and you know what? That will help in a lot of healing, especially when it comes to like mother-daughter issues, because it's a lot of daughters that's like, I can't believe my mom is jealous of me. Why can't you? She's still human. She's still a female. She still has feelings. Like her title is your mom, but her presence is a female.
I
Is a
feel
human.
like I feel like people get lost in titles.
Yeah, absolutely,
Like mom, grandma,
absolutely,
sister, cousin, teacher,
absolutely,
son. People get
hmm
so caught up in these titles. Oh, he's
absolutely.
the lead pastor. I gotta listen to him. Or that is my boss. Da, da,
Yeah,
da, da. People forget. Guess what you are before that title. God didn't bring you in the world as a mom.
right,
God brought you in the world. Whatever your parents named you,
right.
that is what you are first. And I feel like a lot of people fail to realize that.
Yeah,
Like I look at my mom as a human being. When she upset with
yeah.
me, I be like, you know what? I love you. I'm gonna leave you
hmm
alone today. I'm
hmm
gonna mess with you tomorrow.
Right.
Like I look at my sister as as her,
That's
Tina.
her. Yeah.
Then I look at her as my sister and my friend. But some
hmm
I feel like the world is so conditioned with that. Here go
Yeah.
another comment. Okay. Yeah, my computer moving really slow. For a long time, I believe everything my mom said. Thank God for good pastors who challenge you, though. I went through the same thing. Yeah, you have to let them titles go.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
had to say it. When she said the mom comment, I had to say that comment because that's for somebody watching. You have to
hmm
let that title go and realize they're human. They're
hmm
human. They probably didn't teach you something as a kid because they didn't know. Like now in this generation, we teaching our kids about businesses.
Yeah.
We teaching them about money, wealth. You
hmm
can't be mad at your parents because they ain't know that.
Absolutely.
Your
Because
your mama using your social security number back then, they ain't know no better.
girl. Well, I've never experienced that,
My parents never did that, but I know
but
plenty of people who have experienced that.
yeah, and that's the thing. Each generation comes with their own set of issues, problems, and knowledge that they don't know. That's why it gets better and better. It like now, my mom, she's getting ready to be 70, and she's coming into other parts of herself, so the healing journey does not stop. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
As long as you getting the knowledge, as long as you getting the information, you keep going. You know what I'm saying? And that's the other thing too, I think, that stops a lot of people from healing. They think they're too old. They think, you know what I'm saying, they think, oh, well, it's too late now. It's never too
It's
late.
never too late to work on your self-worth. It's
Absolutely.
never too late to work on your self-image. It's never too late to work on fitness and health. It's
Anything.
never too late to work on your mindset. I don't care if
Absolutely.
you're 80 years old, you can do it at 80. Somebody
Absolutely.
said, um, the world be making us feel guilty and shit, especially us autism moms.
hmm
I fully agree with this comment.
hmm
I don't know if Kalina gonna get into that, but I fully agree with that comment. Healing is definitely a daily journey. I have a
yeah.
lot of learning about healing. Lots of learning to learn about healing. Yes.
Well, okay, let me say this: when it comes to, because I've helped so many women since 2018 on their healing journey, and one of the main questions that I will always get is, okay, where do I start? Or I'm confused, or am I supposed to do what this person is doing? Am I supposed to do what that person is doing? You have to do what your spirit guides you to do. There is no right or wrong way to heal for an individual. Collectively, you're going to have people that say, oh, it should be done this way, oh, it should be done that way. But for you as an individual, whatever your spirit is guiding you to do, that is what you do, because that's what your spirit needs to heal. That's why I always ask people, what is your medicine? What do you do to help you heal? Like, music is my medicine. Music calms me, it takes me places. Going outside, it brings me down. Everybody should have their own personal healing arsenal of whatever you do yourself to calm yourself down, to make yourself feel better, to pull yourself back in. So it starts within, but you still go outside. Like I said, I think therapy is good, getting counselors is good. Depending on how your pastor is, if your pastor is one that is open and is about mindset change, and not just, oh, get on your knees and pray, because it has to be more than that. You know what I'm saying? There's work that you have to do, but get outside help, but also listen to yourself. That's one thing we're not taught, and that kills your self-worth too, when you can't trust yourself, when you can't trust what you feel, and you have to get validation all the time. There's something wrong with that. You should be able to go within and be like, Crystal, yeah, girl, let's do this. And be like, okay, that's what we doing. And be confident in
Girl,
what you
I just
do for
started doing
yourself.
that. I used to seek validation, and I realized I used to do it because my former friend told me that. My former
Mm-hmm.
close friend told me that, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't realize until she pointed it out and said,
Mm-hmm.
"You always seek validation," and I was like, "I do," and I
Mm-hmm.
started to analyze it, and it took me a minute to finally realize I
Yeah.
did that. But
Yeah.
once you are 100% in your self worth, you
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna be like, "That's a dope idea. Let
Yep.
me do it. How
Yeah.
much it costs? Let me run it." You know,
Yeah.
um you said so many dope things on this episode today. I see a comment about I love you, mom, but I have boundaries. If you can't respect
Yeah.
those, I have no problem letting you go. I'd rather let you go for a season so that you can get it together and won't make the same mistake with my kids and continue the generational trauma. Let me show that comment. I was
That's a
reading it.
word.
That was a word.
That's a
I took
word.
a minute to learn about boundaries, y'all.
Yeah.
Boundaries is was super hard for me to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but woo, that's a whole nother episode in itself.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Because boundaries are dope. I don't care what nobody say. When you really understand what a boundary is, oh my God, it changes your whole life.
yep.
Changes your whole life.
Like I don't like people call me at a certain time. I literally put my phone in do not disturb. You know why? My boundary is it's time for you to just boop, you
Yeah.
know. And I need to
Mhm.
focus on Crystal. It's Crystal time
Yeah.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said definitely not a time limit. Yes, it is not a time limit to heal.
Yeah.
Healing is every day.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
it's an ongoing lesson. I promise you guys,
Mhm.
I'll bring Kalina back for we can talk about boundaries. I think she'll be the perfect guest. And I have
Boundaries
another
and
guest. Yes, like balance and boundaries is healthy. And when you have boundaries, you're gonna have people. I'm gonna touch on just a smidge.
boundaries.
When you
Mhm.
have boundaries, you're gonna have people look at you like you doing too much.
Yeah.
That's because when you had no boundaries, they had full access to you. But now that you limit that access, and now that you like, okay, that you
Mm-hmm.
crossed the boundary,
Mm-hmm.
that's who you gonna know who is meant to stay in your life. The people
I,
that's meant to stay in your life, they're gonna automatically respect your boundaries. Now, if they didn't know about it, give them grace to understand boundaries. Because everybody was not raised to learn about boundaries. I was one of them. I'm pretty sure my generation was not raised on boundaries because most of our parents don't have boundaries. They wasn't taught that. Like one thing that I do with my son all the time is hug him because I said I don't remember mom. I don't remember being hugged like that. I probably was. I just don't remember. So I hug my son every day and kiss him on the cheek. My mom probably did it. I just don't remember it. So that's the way of me creating expectations for him and all other things. I hope that touch on boundaries from my end, y'all.
Mhm.
Do you have anything else you want to add? Oh my God, your website. Can you tell them your website, please?
Yes, it is Miss Kellinda Nicole. That's MSKELLINDANICHOLE.com. Miss Nicole.
You guys book her and walk into your power. Book
Yeah.
her today. Like if you don't book her, just follow her on social media and find out what
Yeah.
she's about.
Yeah.
She's about talking about your healing. It's about boundaries. She's about so much, and she's very spiritual. So if you into any of that, I highly recommend that all my roommates follow her. I think on Facebook she's what is your Facebook?
Kellinda Ann Brown.
That's what I thought, but I wasn't sure
Yeah.
if you was gonna get that one
Yeah.
out. So yeah,
Mhm.
you guys, like I really hope you guys love this interview, this
Mhm.
episode. I'll be back on my scheduled time next Monday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Yesterday was Juneteenth. So, since it was Juneteenth, you guys, I need everybody to celebrate with their families and all that good stuff. And now that we're out of the Juneteenth celebration, I had to resume my talk show with my guests. Can you lead in with some final words, please?
Sure. Just be yourself. Just be who you are, your authentic self, because you will never be truly happy if you're living for everybody else. And the world needs your energy. The world needs your paint. The world needs your color. The world needs you.
You know what? I love that. And I could talk to her for hours, y'all. The world needs you guys. And guess
Mhm.
what else the world needs? Your story.
Yeah.
Everybody have a story that need to be published. And if you don't know, you can get your book done by me, sisterhoodpublishing.com. It's sister, not sister, sister hoodpublishing.com, and get your story out there. We all have a story that we need to be out there, right?
Mhm.
But I'm your host, Crystal J, and this was my fabulous guest, Kellinda Nicole Brown. And I hope you guys loved her as much as I did. I'm gonna bring her back for a part 2, and I'm gonna drop that soon. So with that being said, bye. Thank you, roommates.
Crystal to the J to the crystal to the